for the jammy tomatoes, what you need is a bunch of cherry tomatoes, and here I have a combination of red and yellows. So these are washed, so I'm gonna just place them into a baking sheet, and I have layered the baking sheet with some foil so it makes cleanup a lot easier. I also have some chopped garlic and red onion. I had some mushrooms in the fridge, which I am going to roast with my tomatoes, and this is optional whether you want to include the roasted mushrooms into your jammy tomato dressing or not. So you could actually have a mushroom tomato salad dressing. So what I'm going to do is add the garlic, just place it on the top, and then I'm going to throw in the sliced red onion, and I'm going to put the mushrooms on this side. So I'm not going to really mix the mushrooms with the rest of the tomato, and the reason I'm going to do that is I'm going to save some of the jammy tomatoes for other applications. So maybe if I want to do it as a spread, I can have that, and I don't want the mushrooms there, but I'll just roast everything at once. Once you've placed the garlic and the onion and the tomatoes on your pan, sprinkle olive oil, and I'll do that same here. Some salt and some fresh ground pepper. And then just mix this. And then put this in your toaster oven or your oven and bake it at 400 degrees for about 15 minutes. So this is our roasted tomatoes, and the mushrooms are over there, and you can see that many of the tomatoes have actually popped. So now what I'm going to do is make the salad dressing. And for the salad dressing, all you really need is some Dijon mustard. And the Dijon mustard acts as an emulsifier, which means that it thickens the tomatoes to make a sauce. So I'm going to just take some of the tomatoes to make a salad dressing, and the rest I'm going to use for jammy tomatoes. So for the dressing, I'm going to take some Dijon mustard and place a little bit into a bowl here. And the amount of Dijon mustard really depends on the amount of tomatoes you're going to be using. Now I'm going to take my pan and scoop in the tomatoes. Get the sauce as well, that makes it extra yummy. I'm going to just take this much, or the actual salad dressing. And all I'm doing right now is basically mashing up and popping the tomatoes. Okay. And once I've popped the tomatoes, I'm stirring in the mustard, and that is acting as the thickener. Okay. You can add additional olive oil if you want, but if you've added olive oil at the beginning when you roasted the tomatoes, you don't really need to. And so you can see that it's very juicy and all the juice is there, but it has thickened with the mustard. All right, so now what I'm going to do is plate it. I have found that the romaine lettuce seems to hold up better than salad mixes, but it's really personal preference. So I'm going to just layer this with lettuce, and this is really for presentation purposes. What I'm going to do is then I'm going to add the tomato dressing on the top, and the dressing really doesn't need to be seasoned anymore. The taste is really coming from the delicious homegrown cherry tomatoes. And once I've done that, then I can add some fresh herbs. So in this case, I love oregano, so I have a bunch of oregano here that I'm just going to add. Some fresh ground pepper. If you wanted to go ahead and add your grilled mushrooms, you can go ahead and just plate those on the top as well. Okay, and there you have it. Now this one is a grilled tomato and mushroom salad. More recipes can be found on sammywongskitchen.com or social media. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks!